Okay, tribe. We are almost ready. So let me see. Okay, a little bit. I don't know why camera's a little bit blurry, but oh well. Let me see. We are trying something new today. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. Hey, TikTok, what's up? You can see me. Okay. Okay, YouTube fam. I got two things going on today. You guys are gonna have to let me know in the comments because I'm on TikTok up here, I'm on YouTube over here. We're both live. I got two mics going. So I got this mic going for YouTube, and I got my lavalier mic going on for TikTok. That way you don't hear a shh the whole time. So let me know if there's a conflict between the mics. I just don't know that. I don't hear any static, but of course I am not listening to myself. So let me see. Let me do this. I don't know. This is the first time I went live on TikTok. Just bear with me, YouTube. Making sure. Yeah, making sure I'm live. Okay, now today I am continuing. This is the first time I'm going live on TikTok. People know me over here on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, you can follow me over on YouTube. My same name, Chad Napier, at Live Life on the Terms. You can recognize his face. But anyway, we are doing a book review. I am in Thailand, by the way. So I've been in Thailand for 4 years. Like, you guys know over here, but you two don't know. But TikTok don't know. I've been in Thailand for 4 years. Right now, I'm up in Surin, Thailand. Been up here for a year in a Thai village. I am the only Falong in a Thai village, baby. So we are getting ready to go back down to Bangkok here, probably in another month or so. And testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, this mic is working. So, but anyway, what we're going to do today is I might be looking over here, looking over here. This might be a comedy show, but on TikTok, on YouTube, we're going through the book, The Science of Getting Rich, but you guys are late because I am on chapter 12. So chapter 12 is taking effective action. Now, this is part 2 because Wallace Wattles broke it apart. Now we're kind of studying manifesting, success, law of attraction, and stuff like that. This is how I like to explain taking action. Is most of the time what happens is we want to take forced action. We want to try to force things to happen in our lives, okay? And when we force things to happen, basically remember, force creates friction, friction negates from you, okay? Okay, tribe. So basically with action, you want to take intuitive action. That's like how I like to call it. Is you have a gut feeling to do something, you take action on that gut feeling. Okay, you have an intuition to do something, you take action on that intuition. Okay, you have an idea to do something, you take action on the idea, because that idea is going to lead you more into what you want. So that's kind of, I have to put that disclaimer out there, because lots of times when we say take action, action gets like a bad rap, because lots of times we try to force things to happen. And I'll get, this is my first time on TikTok. I'll get better with TikTok, but I'm just running 2 things here and stuff like that. So, I might have to, if you guys are commenting or whatever, I might have to look at the comments afterwards. But anyway, the chapter is, let me see how many pages. This is why I love The Science of Getting Rich, because the chapters aren't very long. So yeah, it's only about 5 or 6 pages. It's not that bad. Also, you can pick up the book. You can pick up the book on Amazon, but it's in a book cluster called the Power Wealth Classics. So you can search that on Amazon, and you get 3 books in one. You get the Invisible Power, the Science of Getting Rich, and Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. These are my all-time favorite books, my friends. Then also, I got my coffee over here and my collagen over here. That's a match. That's a match already. All right, coffee and collagen. So let's get rock. Let me get that notification off. Every time I do videos, every time I go live, I these are camera notifications. We have cameras outside by the gate, but they're very sensitive. And let me see. Just seeing what's going on here. Okay, let me see. I'm like peekaboo. Okay, let's get going. I'm being funny, but let's get going on this book review, this chapter. We're not doing the whole book, just this chapter called Effective Action. And then afterwards, we'll hang around and stuff like that and see what's going on. Okay. And by the way, just remind me that if the mics are conflicting with each other, because I got 2 mics going on. All right, let me put on my nerdy glasses here so I can see. Then let's get rocking. Okay, I am ready. Effective action. You must use your thought as I have directed in previous chapters. You must begin to do what you can do where you are, and you must do all that you can do where you are. Okay. And we talked yesterday a lot about this, is that the trap we fall into is, for example, like if we don't like our environment, we want to wait to get into a better environment before we do something. Okay. What Wallace Wattles is saying, you do it now, today. You don't wait. Like the big thing is like, let's say you want to give to charities, you want to give money and stuff like that. What ends up happening is we tell ourselves, well, I'll give to a charity when I make more money. But see, the secret to success in manifesting is you give the charities now. Okay, that's the bottom line. Okay, is now you might not, again, like you might not be able to give what you really want to give if you were rich or you were wealthy or you had a lot of money. But the point is, you're taking that action today. Okay. That's what Wallace Wallace is saying. Okay. No matter where you are in life, you take action right now. You don't wait until you have more money. You don't wait until you become better. You don't wait until you get into a better environment. You do it now today. I mean, I gave an example yesterday, and with yesterday, it's like, okay, I'm in Thailand, been in Thailand for 4 years. Okay. And right now I'm up in Surin, been up in Surin for 1 year. So we came up in Surin to kind of take care of Aang's dad, because Aang's dad his health he wasn't doing so good about a year ago, but his health, I mean, he drastically changed since we've been here. Okay, my friends. And I'm going to have a brain fart. I apologize because I'm looking at 2 cameras. I'm looking at YouTube over here, looking at TikTok over here. But the whole point is, like, when I came up with Serena Thai village, of course it's not Phuket. Of course it's not Hua Hin. Of course it's not touristy place. Of course it's not Bangkok. So, you're really in just very, very Thai style types of houses. They're old. Sometimes maybe you can't tell over here. I know YouTube, you can tell, like, the paint is old, even if it's new. You got moisture, humidity in these places. And, again, I'm not in the best environment, but I still do my thing. I still create content. I'm still on YouTube. I still work. And, I don't give those things up just because I'm not in the perfect environment. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, is you got to take action for where you are. Listen, if you take action from where you are, then you will go where you need to go. You understand? Seems like I'm talking in code right now. Okay, let's continue. You can advance only by being larger than your present place. You will not be larger than your present place when you leave undone any of the work pertaining in that place. Okay. I think that's the best way to explain it. If you want to upgrade your environment, well, your present environment you're in right now, you have to be larger than that place. Like technically, you've outgrown that place you're in. If you want to become a better person, you've outgrown your old identity. Okay, friends? The world is advanced only by those who more than fill their present places. If man, qui- and this is old English, if man quite filled his present place, there would be a backslide in everything. Those who do not quite fill their present places are a dead weight upon society, government, commerce, and industry. They must be carried along by others at a great expense. The progress of the world is retarded only by those who do not fill the places they are holding. Now, I apologize for my language because this book was written, I believe, in the early 1900s. So like he's using, little bit words that we don't use today. So just I do apologize. Just have to say that because they used those types of words a long time ago. They belong to a former age, a lower stage, or plane of life. Their tendency is toward degeneration. No society could advance if its people were smaller than their place because social evolution is guided by the law of physical and mental evolution. In the animal world, evolution is caused by the excess of life. When an organism has more than life, then can be expressed in the functions of its own plane, it develops the organs of higher plane and a new species is originated. Now, he's going deep with this chapter. I apologize. But what he's saying is you got to become better. Okay. That's all he's saying is you basically got to outgrow you. You got to outgrow your environment. Okay. Listen, if you're not in the best environment, you're not in the best job right now. Okay. You're looking for a new job. You're looking for a better career, but you have to outgrow your current job you have. That's what he's saying. Okay. It doesn't mean like a lot of us have been in this place at some time in our life. It doesn't mean I hate my job and since I hate my job and I go to work, you know, I I just do the bare basics just to get by. Okay. That's not success. That's not what Wallace Wattles is saying. He's saying you go above and beyond. Okay. When you go above and beyond, you outgrow your current situation, your current job, your current environment. That's what Wallace Wattles is trying to say here. Every day is either a successful day or a day of failure, and it is the successful days which get you what you want. If every day is a failure, you can never get rich. If every day is a success, you cannot help but get rich. My collagen again. If there is something that may be done today and you do not do it, you have failed insofar as that thing is concerned, and the consequences may be more disastrous than you imagine. Okay, now with this, remember when we take intuitive action, when we take action on our ideas, we take action on our intuition, we take action on our gut feelings. Okay, that leads you closer to what you want. Okay. And like if we don't take action, that's what Wallace Wattles is saying. If you don't take action on your intuition, you're kind of halting, you're pushing pause on what you're trying to manifest. Okay. Now I tend to believe that we don't really miss our opportunity. We just slow it down. Lots of times, if we have an intuition to do something, it cycles back around. If we don't do it right now today, it cycles back around, but all it does is kind of slow us down. It kind of slows down what we're trying to manifest, what we want, our intention. That's all it does. I mean, sometimes like I haven't taken action on my intuition. I have an idea. And what I notice is if I don't take action on it, maybe a week later, it's stronger. And maybe a week later, it's stronger. It starts getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and until you finally flip and do it. Okay. That's how I like to look at it is like, yes, there's certain opportunities we might miss, but lots of time when we talk about intuition or ideas, they cycle around. Okay. And then also it doesn't really matter. Remember, even the law of assumption, remember, whatever you assume to be true for you has to occur in your life. Okay. Whatever I assume to be true for me has to occur, has to happen. So what that kind of means is we can like we can debate this book. You understand? We can debate theories, we can debate what we believe, we can debate why I believe in law of attraction, I don't, I believe in manifesting, I don't. It doesn't matter what you believe because what matters is what I believe. Okay? Because whatever I believe is going to happen to me and whatever you believe is going to happen to you, no matter if it's true or false. Okay, my friends? That's how it works. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Where was I? You cannot foresee the results of even the most trivial act. You do not know the workings of all the forces that have been set moving in your on your behalf. Now here he's kind of talking about looking for the how. You know, when you're trying to manifest, isn't it when you want something, maybe you want your dream house, your dream car, you want to be a millionaire, you want to be a successful entrepreneur, maybe you got products, maybe you have a TikTok shop, whatever, maybe on YouTube. Um, and I had a brain fart. It's I have to reread what I was saying. Okay. Um, controlling the how. That's what I was talking about. The two cameras, the two live streams are messing me up. I apologize. Uh, Lots of times, I mean, that's the curse when we get into manifesting is we think we can control the how. We think that we can figure out where if we want a dream house, how exactly it's going to happen. But the how isn't your concern. That's what you have to understand. Your only job, listen, guys, your only job is to focus on be do have, focus on exactly what you want, focus on your attention. You want your dream house, you focus on your dream house. You live in the end, you act like the most successful version of you. That's your only job. Your only job is to anticipate, listen, anticipate you having your dream house. Be excited that it's coming. But that's your only job. But your only job is just stay there in that state as long as you can. Then you have gut feelings to do something, intuition to do something, and you take action on those things. That takes you closer to what you want. Okay. Your job, listen, your job is not to figure out the how. When you start trying to figure out the how, you choke. You literally choke what's going to come to you. You choke it. You choke it to death. Okay. Because listen, I mean, this is a great example for me. Okay. I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. Okay. If I got multiple streams of income, or if I got not multiple businesses, but I got multiple streams, maybe there's 4, 5, 6 different streams of income coming in. Well, if I want to manifest like $30,000, right away my brain goes into how. Then I start thinking about my multiple streams of income, and I thought, well, if I sell this many sales over here, I can make this. If I sell this many over here, I can make this. So what's happening is I'm controlling how it's coming to me, but I'm only controlling it 5 or 6 ways. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, but in retrospect, there's 100 different ways this can come to me. Okay, if I just kind of get out of my own way and stop blocking success coming to me, like it's the energy is free to come to me. You understand what I'm saying? Most of the time, we're blocking our own manifestations. We're blocking what we want. Okay, it's like we're playing football and we play defense and we're just literally running around blocking everything. Okay, that's basically controlling the how. Now it's coffee time. Okay, let's complete this paragraph. You cannot foresee the results of even the most trivial act. You do not know the workings of all the forces that have been set moving on your behalf. You don't know. You don't know how it's coming to you. Okay, that's not your job anyway. Okay, much may be depending upon doing some. Listen, this is great. Much may be depending upon you're doing some simple act. It may be the very thing which is the open the door of opportunity to great possibilities. You can never know all the combinations which the supreme power is making for you in the world of things and the human affairs. Your neglect or failure to do some small thing may cause a long delay in getting you what you want. How many times do we do that? You understand, tribe? You understand, friends? Is we have an intuition, we have an idea, but we think, oh, that's small. Why do I want to do that? And you just fluff it off. But that little small action, that little teeny tiny small idea you have could be that step that takes you exactly to what you want. That's what Wallace Wattles is saying. Okay, don't get caught up into it's a small idea or it's a big idea. You understand? Listen, I give this example all the time. I haven't said this example for a long time. Okay, you could literally be driving home from work, and your thought is, "Dude, I need a gallon of milk." Okay, I need to buy some milk because maybe you need milk, maybe you're craving milk, maybe you need milk for dinner time, whatever. Okay. And your intuition is like, oh, pull over at this store and buy a gallon of milk. You see, it's so simple. It's like it's a store you've never been to before. Okay. But your intuition, your gut feeling say, no, pull over right now, buy a gallon of milk in there. Okay. Now, what if you listen to it and you pull over, you go in a store, you grab your gallon of milk. Let me put the book down. And you're standing in line and you're standing in front of a guy. This guy turns, start talking to you. You just start chatting back and forth. Okay. He's not trying to pick you up. Okay. He's not looking for his SP. Okay. And the question comes like, hey, what do you do for a living? And you tell him. And he's like, you know what? I'm looking for a person like this. I'm the CEO of blah, 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 blah. And it happens to be one of the biggest companies in your city. Okay. And at the same time, he doesn't know you're really looking for a new job. Okay. That was your intuition. Not your intuition. That was your intention. Okay. You wanted a new job. You wanted a new career. You wanted to get out of the current job you had. He didn't know any of this. Okay. All you knew is I'm going in and I'm trying to buy a gallon of milk. Okay. You tell him he likes you, and he said, "You know what? On Monday, why don't you come in for an interview? We'll sit down and talk more about it." And you're like, "Sure." And Monday morning, you go to the interview. He sits down, chats with you casual, offers you the job. It pays double what you're making right now. You know what I mean? Listen, all from that small gut feeling you had of you needed a gallon of milk and your intuition told you to stop at this random store you never been to before. And as you stopped at this random store, you ran into this guy, started chatting with him. You didn't know he was a CEO of the company you wanted to work for, and you ran into him just by chance, just by luck, just by following this one teeny tiny little idea you had that you could have passed up, you could have ignored, you could have said, "Well, no, I'll go tomorrow and get some milk." You know what I mean? That's what Wallace Wattles is meaning. is don't kick aside any idea you have. Any idea that comes to you that feels an idea, it's an intuition, it's a gut feeling, you take action. Okay, that's all Wallace Wattles is saying. Continually on. Do every day all that can be done that day. There is, however, a limitation or qualification that you must take into account. You are not to overwork or rush blindly into your business to the effort to do the greatest possible number of things in the shortest possible time. You are not to try to do tomorrow's work today or to do a week's work in a day. Okay, remember, Wallace Wallace talks about this through this whole book. It's it's not about competition, it's about you being creative. Okay, it's the creative mind, it's your imagination. Okay, meaning like you don't need to rush to get what you want. You don't need to hurry to get what you want. Okay, nobody's gonna take nobody's gonna take away from you what is rightfully yours. Okay, if you want your dream house, nobody's gonna buy your dream house away from you. Nobody's gonna take your dream house away from you. Okay, that's what you have to understand. Okay, it's always going to be there. Okay, and this comes from abundance. Abundance is infinite. Abundance is divine. Meaning, abundance is infinite. Abundance is never going to run out. Abundance is divine. Meaning, abundance is in all things. Okay, listen. It is really not the number of things you do, but the efficiency of each separate action that counts. Okay. Every act is in itself either effective or ineffective. Every ineffective act is a failure. And if you spend your life doing ineffective acts, your whole life will be a failure. The more things you do, the worse for you if all your acts are ineffective ones. On the other hand, every effective action is a success in itself, and every act of your life is an effective one. Your whole life must be a success. Okay. Now, it kind of sounds confusing, but what Wallace Wallace is really talking about is he's talking about taking intuitive action, listening to your intuition, listening to your gut feelings, listening to your ideas, and taking action on those. That's what he's talking about to keep it simple. To keep it simple, my friends. Okay, where was I? The cause of failure is doing too many things in an ineffective manner and not doing enough things in an effective manner. Okay, you're rushing. Okay, you will see that it is a self evident proposition that if you do not do any ineffective acts, if I can talk, and if you do a sufficient number of effective acts, you will become rich. It is possible for you to make each act an effective one. You see again that the getting of riches is reduced to an exact science like math. Okay. When he's talking about you taking effective action, you're doing it again. What I like to call it is he's taking intuitive action. He's listening to his gut. He's listening to his intuition. He's listening. You have an inspired thought to do something. You take action on it. That's what he's talking about, my friends. And we got 3 more pages. Not too bad. The matter turns then on the question of whether you can make each separate act a success in itself. And this you can certainly do. You can make each act a success because the infinite is working within you and the infinite cannot fail. Okay, I love this because he's saying you can make every act a successful act is because the infinite is working in you and the infinite cannot fail. Now, just depending upon what your religious beliefs are, this isn't a religious talk. Okay, what you have to understand is source is inside you, God is inside you. Okay, so if source is inside you, if source is infinite, if source is all success, if source is all abundant, that means you are abundant. Okay, you have the same thing. Okay, it doesn't mean source is inside you and you don't have power of source. Okay, you have all powers of the source. Okay, if source is all abundant, listen, that makes you all abundant. You understand? You understand, tribe? The supreme power is at your service. To make each act effective, you have only to put your own power into it. Every action is either strong or weak. When you are strong, you are acting in a certain way, which will make you rich. Every act can be made strong and effective by holding your vision while you are doing it and by putting the whole power of faith, of belief, and purpose into it. It is at this point that people who separate mental power from personal action fail. They use the power of mind in one place and at one time, and they act in another place and another time. Thus, their acts are not successful in themselves. Too many of them are ineffective. But if you put the supreme power in every act, no matter how commonplace, every act will be a success in itself. Every success opens the way to other successes. Okay. This is like manifesting 101. Okay, if you're successful, more success has to come to you. If you're positive, more positive has to come to you. You understand? If you have positive thoughts, you're thinking good, well, good has to come to you. That's all he's talking about. Your progress toward what you want and the movement of what you want towards you will become increasingly rapid. I love this. Listen, your progress toward what you want. Okay, what do you want? You want your dream house, your dream car, money, career. You want to be an entrepreneur, whatever. It doesn't matter what you want. That's your intention. Okay. Your progress toward what you want and the movement of what you want towards you will become increasingly rapid. Remember that successful action is cumulative in its results. When you begin to move toward a larger life, more things attach themselves to you, and the influence of your desire is multiplied. This is because the desire for life is inherent in all things. Do every day all that you can do that day, and do each act in an effective manner. Get that notification off there. In saying that you must hold your vision while you are doing each act, however trivial or commonplace, you do not mean to say that it is necessary at all times to see the vision distinctly to its smallest details. During your leisure hours, you should focus your imagination on the details of your vision in order to fix it firmly in your memory. Okay. Wallace Wattles brings us up earlier in the book. Okay, listen, this is how simple manifesting is. This is how simple law of attraction is. Listen, during your leisure hours, meaning you're not at work, you're not doing something else. Listen, during your leisure hours, you should focus your imagination on the details of your vision in order to fix it firmly in your memory. Basically, what he's saying is whatever your attention is, whatever you want, whatever you desire, whatever your burning desire is, that's what you think about all the time. Okay. During your leisure hours, you're not letting your mind drift away. You're thinking about it. You have affirmations around it. You're inside your imagination. You can see yourself living your dream life. What he's saying is you think about this all the time. You never get out of this state. Okay, that's our only job. Now, where was I? If you wish, listen to this, if you wish speedy results, spend practically all your spare time in this practice. Listen, this is the meat and potatoes, baby. If you want speedy results, okay, if you want to manifest fast, okay, I'm not saying you're going to manifest in 24 hours, but you want speedy results. Okay, you don't want to take forever for your dream house to come to you. You don't want to take forever to get rich. You don't want to take forever to get your dream job. Okay. Okay. So he's saying if you want speedy results, spend practically all your spare time in this practice. What practice is he talking about? Is the sentence above is during your leisure hours, you should focus your imagination on the details of your vision, of what you want, of what you desire. Okay. Spend all your time thinking about this. Listen, by continuous contemplation, you will get the picture of what you want firmly fixed upon your mind and completely transferred to your mind of the formless substance. Then, in your working hours, you need only to mentally refer to that picture to stimulate your faith, your belief, and purpose, and to put forth the best effort. Contemplate your picture in your leisure hours until your consciousness is so full of it that you can grasp it instantly. You will become so enthusiastic about its bright promises that the mere thought of it will call forth the strongest energies of your whole being. And before we get to the last page here, that's what I'm saying is with the real, if you want to live life on your terms, you want to live your dream life, whatever you want to call it, law of attraction, law of assumption, whatever. Okay. To keep it simple, all we should do is constantly focus on what we want. Okay. It's almost going back to like living like a kid, meaning that when you think either you have kids or you have nieces and nephews, or you can remember when you were a kid, isn't it weird that when you're a kid, you only wanted to focus on what you liked? Okay. And you're running around all day in your imagination, like thinking about, oh, I want this bike. And you think about riding it. And oh, mom and dad's going to buy it for me for my birthday. And you anticipate it. You're excited. Okay. On top of it, you never, ever, ever want to do anything that you don't like, you don't want to do. Isn't it weird? Okay. But as an adult, we grow out of that. Okay. As an adult, we tend to do things that we don't like. And that kind of spreads throughout a whole life. Okay, we need to go back. The dogs are the dogs are scratching on the door. They can hear me in here. They're like, Chad, I know you're in there. I can hear you talking. I might have to get up and let them in. But that's the simple thing. Is that's your job? Let me get up and let them in. They're not gonna stop. Oh yeah. Okay. Move that over. Let me see. Put it back here. Don't want one of the puppies to step on it, then turn off the computer. But you understand is that that's our only job is to be, do, have, do what we want, do only things we like, focus our intention on our burning desire. We want our dream life, live a life in turn. You want to travel, whatever. Okay, you want to take your dream vacation. Isn't it weird? Like if you really want to take your dream vacation, if that's all you thinking about is taking your dream vacation, isn't it weird how things will kind of ripple in and your dream vacation becomes a reality? You know what I mean? Because you didn't get in your own way. You just focused on it. That's the only thing you thought about. You didn't control the how because maybe you were thinking at the time, I don't know how it's going to work. So you let go of the whole process. Okay. The how isn't your job, my friend. Okay. The how is a job of the universe. The how is the job of God. The how is a job of source. Okay. You got to get out of your own way and let source do its job. Okay. Because when it's coming to you, it's coming to you at an angle that you can't see, that you don't know. Okay. Okay, let's finish this up. Every chapter, he wraps up this chapter kind of the same, but he adds stuff to it. Listen, let us again repeat our syllabus and by slightly changing the closing statements, bring it to the point we have now reached. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, in which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought and a substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. You can form things in your thought, and by impressing your thought upon formless substance can cause the thing you think about to be created. In order to do this, in order to do this, you must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. You must form a clear mental picture of the things you want. And you must do with faith, belief, and purpose. All that can be done each day, doing each separate thing in its effective manner. Okay, that's the end of the chapter, my friends. In chapter 13, let me see. How many more chapters do we got? I think we only got 3. Yeah, we got 3 more chapters of the book. So chapter 13, we're not going to go through it today. We'll do that tomorrow. Chapter 13 is getting into the right business. Uh, but that's it, my friends. But what we have to understand, especially with action, since we've been talking about action for like 2 days now, and especially with Wallace Wattles and stuff like that, move the camera here a little bit, is action is very, very tricky. You understand what I'm saying? Because most of the time we get into this mode of trying to force things to happen. We let our 5 senses get in the way: see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Okay, if I don't see it, I don't believe it. Basically, what I'm talking about. And remember, any force, no matter if it's physical force, no matter if it's mental force, creates friction. Friction negates from you. It repels things from you. Okay. So the best thing to describe action is you stay in the state of what you want. Okay. You only think about what you want. You anticipate it. You live in the end. Whatever, you act like the most successful version of you. You do only things that you like and enjoy. That's what you're focused on. You're not murmuring, complaining. You're not going to work, talking negative about your significant other to all your coworkers. And you come home and you talk negative to your significant other about your coworkers at work. You understand? All weekend long, you talk about how you hate your boss. Okay, you stop doing all that stuff. You understand? Okay, if it's not positive, you stop talking about it, because when you talk about things, it's kind of like the law of karma. When you talk about things, those things are taking root and they're coming back into your life. Okay, if you had something bad happen to you 5 years ago and you talk about it constantly, every family gathering you go to, you talk about it. You get involved with your friends group every once in a while, you talk about it. Well, that's why similar things keep on reoccurring in your life. Okay, because you keep talking about it. Let the dead bury the dead. The past is in the past. That's it. Okay, let it go. Okay, that's the only thing you can do. Okay. Now, with that, when you focus on exactly what you want, eventually you're gonna feel led to do things. Okay, you're gonna feel led to. You're gonna have an intuition to do something. You're gonna have a gut feeling to do something. You're going to just have an idea to do something, and when you do, that's where you take action. You understand, my friends? Okay. Other than that, like, YouTube changed things around. YouTube Live is working differently now. Let me see. You said dream vacation tips. What's your dream? What's your dream vacation? I'll wait for your response. And you might have left that comment a while ago. I just saw it just because since we've got two cameras going on and I was reading a chapter, I'm not staring at the phone. It's a little bit easier with YouTube because I'm up on the big screen so I can kind of see things pop up. But on this camera right here, this is my phone. So then the comments a little bit smaller. So I have to really be staring at the phone to really see things. Uh, so I'm sitting way over here. I can't really see it. And the reason why I tell you, if you want dream vacation tips, reason I tell you, well, what's your dream vacation? Because if you don't know what you want, it's not going to come to you. If you're vague of what you want, well, something's going to come to you, but it's probably not going to be your dream vacation. Okay, you have to be definitely know exactly what you want. Okay, let me give you an example. This is a dream vacation, but it applies to the principle. What I'm talking about here is probably a couple weeks ago, Ing and I sat down. We were kind of a little bit tired of Surin, and we've been up here for a year, like I said, and like drama was kind of happening and stuff like that, and I mean, I've kind of been tired of it, but finally, Ing sat down and was like, she's tired of it, and so then it was kind of time to kind of exit from Surin. You understand? So then that led to thinking about where we're going to go, where we're going to move. That led to Bangkok. Okay. Now that led to buying a house in Bangkok. Okay. That led to the development and the property of in Bangkok. So it's the same thing with your dream vacation. Once you know exactly what you want, where you want to be, is that's all you think about. You know what I mean? You put it there, you anticipate it, you anticipate this is what you want to do, you have fun with it, and you're always thinking about it. From time to time, you're sitting back, you're in your imagination, seeing yourself actually taking your dream vacation. Okay. You're having fun with it. You make it as real as possible. You make it as vivid as possible. Also in your imagination, you're bringing people with you. Like, who are you going to take on your dream vacation? You understand? Okay, is it just you by yourself? Is it with your significant other? You have a family, whatever. Is it with your friends, your best friends? Who's going with you? Because when you know who's going with you, when you go inside your imagination, they're in your imagination too. So in your imagination, you're having conversations, you're doing things, you're sightseeing. Maybe you're going out to eat, going to good restaurants. Maybe you're sitting by the beach. You know what I mean? Okay, sipping on margaritas, whatever you want to do. But that's what you think about in your imagination. You have fun with it. Okay. And lots of times I'll do this, when I go to bed, right before I go to sleep, is you think about it. Okay. And when you stay in that state, you don't control the how, ideas, intuition will come to you. That how it will move into form. You understand that this stuff is rather simple. Is just we make it hard. I have Lucky in the background there. On YouTube, you can see him in the mirror. He's like sitting right over there. But I'm almost drink it like that. Okay. What else? What else? Now during the day, I am gonna try to go live several times just to kind of pinpoint when the best time to go live to see, because usually on YouTube I have the United States crowd. Um, TikTok, I'm not too sure because this is the first time I went on TikTok. Uh, so we'll see if it's polling in Thailand or polling in people from the States or where it's kind of polling from. Um, so sometimes it's just since I'm dealing with time zones and weird time zones and stuff like that, that trying to find like a really great time to kind of go live and and that way most people will jumping on. Um, so we're gonna, so I'm gonna try to try to go live at different points during the day to kind of find a sweet spot. And um, um, so I'm kind of not really new to the live streaming, but since I'm kind of in a weird time zone, just to try to figure out what's the best time to go live. Sometimes I go live at 3 p.m. in Thailand, where it's completely nighttime in the United States. Unless you're a night owl, then you might jump on. Um, uh, so then sometimes, I jump on where maybe I go live. I don't have anything special I'm going to talk about. Sometimes I'm just sitting here kind of working on projects, and I go live and and I have people like ask me questions while I'm working, and I answer their questions and stuff like that. Lots of times I'll do stuff like that. Um, sometimes that gets so busy, or sometimes that gets so busy, that besides me working, getting stuff done, I'm answering questions the whole time. so, so there is a curse with that. So, but but what time is it? How long have I been going live now? About 52 minutes, something like that. So, and this is the first time I've been live on TikTok. Well, talking about intuition. Okay, I'll talk about this for a second. Okay, talking about intuition, gut feelings and stuff like that. Remember, your intuition, your gut feelings really comes to you when you're at a relaxed state. You're not thinking, you're not trying to figure things out, you're not trying to force it. Anytime I try to force things to happen, it's literally like my intuition shuts off. It's like I'm not thinking about anything. Like nothing is coming to me at all. Okay. And this is what happened to me yesterday. I sat down just to take a break. I think it was like 5 p.m., 5:30. Okay. This is an old phone, but I'll use it as a prop. And I sat down, started playing on my phone. I think I went on Instagram and I was just scrolling. And I hit this little podcast, like this little podcast clip on Instagram. I watched this briefly, and it was talking about going live. But it was really talking about going live longer, going live like 2 hours a day. So I'm like, that's interesting. Okay. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I should. And I had that thought, well, maybe I should start going live 2 hours a day. I'm thinking, like, what in the world am I going to talk about for 2 hours? Okay. And right after that, for some reason, I had like an intuition to jump on TikTok, because I'm not on TikTok that much, but I have a lot of posts that goes on TikTok, but that's from like a social scheduler. But basically what's happening is the algorithm of TikTok, it senses that you don't use the app that much, so it doesn't, like, I post a lot on TikTok, but it doesn't share my posts because I'm personally not on TikTok. You understand what I'm saying? So then I thought, well, you know, I'll jump on the TikTok app on my phone and kind of just scroll, try to get more involved with TikTok. But when I went on TikTok, I just happened to glance down and it was like, you can go live on TikTok. I didn't know you could go live on TikTok. That's how much I never used TikTok, because I didn't know you could go live on TikTok. Then I had an intuition. It's like, well, when I sit down tomorrow to do my book review, to finish up the book review for YouTube, while at the same time I'm on YouTube, I'll go live on TikTok. You understand? Like, these are just like little like small little intuitions I have that I'm taking action on. Okay. Now, where it leads me is where it leads me, I don't know. I mean, it could be a really small action, like my example I gave on buying a gallon of milk. Okay. Or it's you take a small action, you have an intuition, you take a small action, you take action on it. It's small, but it leads you to something bigger, like a bigger action, a bigger idea. Okay. But the only thing is what I'm kind of learning over the years is just listening to myself. All the answers you seek are inside you. It's not outside of you. Okay, you don't need to go to 20 of your friends to figure out what's best for you. You don't need to do that. Okay? Because you already know what's best for you. You're just not trusting yourself. You're just not having confidence in yourself that you can do it or that everything's going to be okay if you listen to yourself. Okay? Okay, that's the biggest thing. Everything is within you. All the answers you seek is within you. Okay. Now another thing is like a struggle is AI. A lot of people jump on AI. Okay. I know I've been using like ChatGPT and AI and stuff like that, maybe for like 3 years now, something like that. Okay. But it's like I've even like kind of backed away from AI a little bit just because you start again, you go outside of yourself. You start asking ChatGPT, what should I do? What is the best thing for Chad? Okay. You start asking AI ChatGPT and you start building prompts and stuff like that. You are the YouTube expert. How shall I go viral? Okay. You understand? Mhm. So I kind of backed away just because, again, I'm putting power outside of myself when all the answers within you, because source is inside you. Okay. AI is not smarter than source. Okay. So then all the answers are within. So you need to listen to yourself. You need to have confidence in listening to yourself. Okay. And sometimes in the beginning, it's just you building confidence in yourself and listening to yourself. And no matter if it's good or bad, you have confidence that you can figure it out. You understand? So that's usually kind of what I try to do is I work during the day. I have an intuition to do something, I do it. Okay. If if like yesterday I had an idea of a video. I was planning for a few days, but I wasn't too sure how I was gonna film it or whatever. When I woke up yesterday, I got up like at 5 a.m. I was sitting there like this, sipping my coffee all by myself in the kitchen because that's how early I get up before everybody else. And then the idea came. It's like, I'll do the video like this. And I started like mapping out in my brain, like all the cuts of the video, whatever. I made an SP video that that you can check it out over on YouTube. It's called, what I call it? I call it, dude, where's my SP? If you look up, dude, where's my SP on YouTube? It's a fun video. Okay. It's a fun one. It's not serious. Okay. It's a fun one. Okay. I did like little skits and stuff like that with metaphors, like deeper metaphors with the SP. What are you two doing? What are you two doing? What are you guys doing? You come in and say hello. You come in and say hello, huh? Some of the dogs came in and say hello. Like, Chad, what are you doing in here? This is lawn. Let me see. Try to move the camera here. This is the neighbor's dog that comes over and plays with the puppies. He's been coming over for the last 6 months. So 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 he heard me in here and came in and say hello. No, what? It's starting to get hot out, huh? But now I really did have a brain fart. Like, what was I talking about? Let's talk about intuition. Yeah. And you're fine. Like even with me, it's like, you put your trust outside of yourself. Okay. There. TikTok, I had to pull that little puzzle piece over there. So I think it's because I'm going live, I'm recording, but I'm not on it like chatting like this. So it thinks so I have to. I think it's a good little thing, huh? Uh, like viral tips and inner power. What's viral tips? Like social media? Viral tips are really, really tricky. Um, to me, it's all being authentic, uh, being you. I think that's the hardest thing for all of us, for us just to be us. You understand? Um, and not be afraid of being authentically you. Um, not to compare yourself to people because there's going to be people that are viral that make money, that make a lot of money. They put a lot of money into like social media influencers making videos. They got good cameras, they got good mics, you know what I mean? Or they just have, one, two, three staff members that help them. Like they're not doing everything themselves. Uh, Lots of times it can be discouraging in the beginning because you think, how can I compete? You know what I mean? Or their stuff just looks more like right here. Like I'm up in northern Thailand, up in Surin. This is a Thai style house. This isn't the best like environment. You know what I mean? So so that's why I mean being authentic is sometimes for me, like I like the raw videos. It's almost like Sam Sulek. Okay, if you know like Sam Sulek is, like he went viral. He was a bodybuilder. He literally just set up a camera in the gym and people just watching him work out. You know what I mean? I mean, like sometimes people just want authentic, people just being really them and they don't have glamour all behind them and stuff like that. And the glamour is good, but I think the biggest thing is just is you being you. Okay. You being you, you take an action. Another viral thing is, I don't know if that's what you're talking about when you say viral tips, but I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Is I've been in business for a long time, been entrepreneur for a long time, maybe 20 years. Okay. And over the years, like I've studied with like Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, um, Dan Henry, all types of people. Okay. Jim Edwards and the copywriting. It doesn't make me a master. You know what I mean? It, plus I'm a software engineer. So like when I built YouTube, now I'm not viral on YouTube. I want to say that, you know what I mean? But one of the things I did smart was it's like if you work in recruit, listen, if you work in, I'll give you some pointers here. If you work in recruiting sales, okay, I used to work in recruiting sales like 20 years ago. Recruiting sales, this is all they would tell me is, Chad, go wide, go deep. You would go to these meetings, you would drive really far there, sometimes pay for them, sometimes pay for like weekend seminars for 3 days. When you go there, they would say the same thing to you. Chad, go wide, go deep. What do I mean by going wide and going deep? Is you go wide with personal recruits and you go deep, meaning you go deep in that leg. Like you personally recruit somebody, then that recruit you help them recruit. So that means go wide, go deep. Okay. What does that mean on YouTube, social media, and stuff like that? Go wide, go deep is like I go wide with my playlist and I go deep in the playlist. Okay. Meaning I just keep on creating content. Okay. Like if you study with like Alex Amosi doesn't call it go wide, go deep. Alex Amosi calls it you're stacking bricks. Okay, each video, each piece of content is a brick. You know what I mean? You just keep on doing it and stacking, 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 because what you're trying to do is you got so much content out there. Once you do have a one viral video, that one viral video is going to start a forest fire. Okay, that's what you want. You have so much stuff out there. When a one viral video hits, now viral could mean several things. Viral could mean it's truly viral, million views or more. Semi-viral could mean 500,000 views, or it could be viral for your channel. You know what I mean? Like viral for your channel could be 100,000 views. Maybe you never came close to that. So that's viral for your channel. Okay. So being viral can mean many things. Okay. Another thing you can do smart is build out your ecosystem. That's why, like, honestly, that's what I did for the last year. Like when I was up in Surin, that's what I did for the last year. I built out my ecosystem in YouTube. Okay. Now they're fighting over here. The puppies, you might hear them. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see my ecosystem right there on the homepage. Okay. Like CTAs, landing pages, websites, stuff like that. That way, if you build out the ecosystem, okay, I built out I did everything in reverse. I didn't wait to go viral first. Then I'm trying to figure out everything because I got so much traffic going on. I did it in reverse because I knew, okay, I built my ecosystem first. That way, when you do go viral, you're going to have masses of traffic coming in. This is just law of averages. Okay, I'll give you some numbers here. Let's say you have a video go hit 1 million views. Okay, let's keep simple math. I think 1% is 10,000. Because 10% of 1 million would be 100,000. 1% would be 10,000. Yeah, so 1% out of 1 million views is 10,000. Let's assume that is people. Okay, so what that means is that when you go viral, you probably have, give and take, 1% is kind of low, but that's a real number. Okay, 1% is, I'm giving you real things. Okay, I'm not saying 2 or 3. Sometimes 2 or 3 means you need more. Hey, they're getting mad. They're fighting over this. Like if you get 2 or 3, that just means that you need more trust and credibility in the marketplace. Okay, let me shut this door. Okay, because all the puppies are coming in here. Hey guys, come over here. Come on. You're asking me really good questions, and the dogs are coming here and fighting and wrestling, and they're coming over and staring at me. Okay, so you got 10,000. So what that means is 1 million. You have 10. You're basically overnight or in 1 week. You get like 10,000 new subs, 10,000 new subscribers, pretty much overnight. Okay, with that 1%. That also means that you have maybe a different set of people. You have 10,000 people inside your channel. Okay, that's basically checking out your channel, checking out your other content, you checking out your other videos. Maybe they're on your home page of your channel if you're talking about YouTube. Okay, you have 10,000 people like literally on your channel searching for new videos and searching stuff. Okay, that's why channels blow up, because you got that many people like on your channel at one time. Okay, it doesn't stop there. Okay, you have another category of 10,000 people. Now, this could be a mixture. These could be new subscribers, people looking at your content. You have another 10,000 people inside your ecosystem. Okay, that's why I took the whole last year to build, is the ecosystem, is landing pages, websites, products, my stand store. I got my stand store in there too, and So you have 10,000 people. Now that doesn't mean 10,000 people are going to buy from you. Okay. It just means you got 10,000 people clicking somewhere in your ecosystem, either your free stuff, your free products, either your email list or whatever. Okay. You have 10,000 people clicking. Okay. Now, granted, you're going to make sales from that, but that's what I mean. Like, I did all that first. Okay. Because I knew. Okay. Or I've worked for companies before they went viral, before they got crazy popular, and that's what they did. Okay. Um, I've had friends go viral, but didn't have the ecosystem first. You understand? You know, I've had friends go viral with they only had 2 or 3 videos on their channel. You know what I mean? Granted, they go viral. They're with one video, you're make a couple grand, but maybe you make a couple grand for a few months or something like that. But of course, there is nothing in place for them. You understand? Just with my experience, I kind of worked backwards because I knew. I kind of jumped ahead because I knew that I wanted to. Like when I have like viral spikes on my channel, wherever it comes from. It could come from YouTube, it could come from TikTok, it could come from Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Sometimes you don't know. Where across my social media, there's always a link that's going inside my ecosystem. Okay. I'm not call it ecosystem, but that way it's easy to find me. It's easy to find my products. It's easy to find what I do, whatever. Um, so they're not so much viral tips, but it's just kind of getting yourself set up because you want to take advantage of those moments. That's all I'm saying. Is you want to take advantage of those spikes where you just have a ton of people like on your channel at one time. Okay. And the beginning way to do this is you keep on creating content, is you keep on stacking the bricks, like Alex Amosi says, is because the more content you have, one viral video spikes up other videos that's inside your on your channel. Okay. So all you're doing is just setting yourself up to take advantage of when you have a busy time. You're not running around like, oh my god, I didn't have nothing set up. Oh, you change it, viral tips and being authentic. Yeah. Being authentic is a little bit more tricky. It's a little bit more tricky to explain, um, because it's you being you not being scared of being you. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the big thing is now, if I was younger, I'll be honest with you. If I was younger and I was up here in this, I don't want to be rude, okay? Not to you, but I don't want to be rude. Like this is Aang's family house. Like in Thailand, how it works is a lot of time you come up these villages, these houses are generational. They've been in your family for generations. So they're old, you know what I mean? So, especially like a Thai village, it can be a poverty Thai village. You see a lot of poverty. You see alcoholics. You go outside, everything's unkept. People litter, throw trash all over the place. I'll be honest. If I was younger, I probably want to do videos up here. This, you know what I mean? If I was younger, I probably, this would bother me behind me here. If you could, see this, the paint. This is the new paint job. We painted this new, but just since everything is cement, it makes everything look ugly. Okay, because moisture build up and stuff like that in the cement walls. Because everything is built with cement. Cement and metal. Okay. So, and like I know YouTube can see it, but the camera's bigger, so you can see this. Like that would bother me to death if I was younger. I mean, I literally would just come up here and be like, I can't work, I can't build content because I'm so embarrassed. Literally, I mean, I can't do a video outside because it looks ugly. It would, I mean, honestly, I'm just being honest and transparent with you. It would bother me, and I probably wouldn't even do anything. Okay, I'll probably just have a normal job, and until I move someplace more beautiful. You know what I mean? But the whole point of being authentic is, hey, this is where I'm at right now. Okay, I can't just shut down and stop doing things. So, um, if it's beautiful, it's beautiful. It's not, it's not. That's part of being authentic. Like we yes, we came up here for a reason. We came up here for the last year to take care of Aang's dad, but this is where I'm at right now. Okay. Now, do I get negative feedback from it from time to time? From time to time, I get comments on YouTube. Oh, ha 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 ha, Chad! You're talking about manifesting, and you're sitting in a broken up room. You know what I mean? It's going to come. Negative things are going to come, but you have to understand too. When people have negative comments, is listen. Nobody more successful than you is going to put you down. Okay. Nobody more successful than you is going to write a negative comment. Okay. That's how I look at it. I know that for a fact. It's not even how I look at it. Okay. Nobody more successful than you are going to put you down. Okay. But of course, it's social media. You can't control everybody. You know what I mean? You got keyboard warriors out there, and that's all about being authentic. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like I back in the day, and I used to do videos a long, 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 long time ago. Like I would before a video, I would have to go take a shower, like dressed in a suit, dress all professional. Now I just, if I feel like going live, feel like doing a video, if my hair is crazy, I just put a hat on my head. I'm ready to go. I don't, sometimes I'm not clean shaven. That's just me being me. That's just what I look like in real life. Okay. Another thing is talk how you talk, baby. Okay. Okay. Don't change your speech. Don't change things to kind of match. Okay. That I learned a long, long time ago. I went to the seminar. Holy hell, like a long time ago, like probably 50 at least. At least, oh yeah. This is 2026, so yeah, it's maybe even been 20 years, 15, 20 years ago. This was blogging. This will help you out. Okay. This is when blogging became really, really popular. Okay. So it's been a long time. Okay. Okay. So I went to the seminar, and the woman on stage speaking at the time, she was a super, I don't want to say famous, but a super, super, super popular blogger. I can't remember her name, but she was saying something very, very important to blogging. She was saying that when you went to school, you went to high school, you went to college, okay, maybe you wrote thesis papers and reports and stuff like that. You write very, very academic, which will kill your blogging. Okay. This is what she said. Basically, you should write how you talk. I'm sitting there thinking, holy hell, if I wrote how I talk, like when I went through high school, through English was my worst subject. Because you know why? Because I wrote how I talked. I pretty much got like C's and D's. When I went to college, like it took me a long time to get good with college. Let me tell you, writing thesis papers and stuff like that. When I went to college, I failed. I think I failed English 2 or 3 times. I'm not even joking. I failed English 2 or 3 times in college at the college level. Why? Because I wrote how I talked. You know what I mean? Which is not grammatically correct at all. Okay. Now, fast forward time. Now, this famous blogger is telling me, Chad, you need to stop writing academic. You need to write how you talk, baby. I'm, I'm scratching my head. But this is what she said, okay, which made total sense. Is like when you build up a following, no matter if it's blogging, videos, okay, whatnot, is is you're building up trust and credibility and authority with people. Okay. You're building relationships with people no matter if you met them or not. Okay. So, but this is what she said. It was very interesting. She said, but let's say you meet some of your fans in person, but in person, you talk way differently than how you write. Or I'm going back to blogging. You talk differently than how you write. She said, at that moment, you've lost rapport. He's like, you've totally lost rapport with that person because they like you because how you write. Now they met you in person, and you're a totally different person in person. Okay. She said, you've lost rapport with them because you don't talk how you write. You talk differently than how you write. Okay. This could be with videos too. Nowadays, like blogging is still popular, but nowadays it's being an influencer, videos, whatever. It's the same thing. Talk, in your videos, talk how you naturally talk. Okay. Like in my videos, I mean, sometimes I can like talk like an attorney or talk like, because maybe I'm, I'm really talking about manifesting, really talking about something. But for the most part, I really try to just be Chad. Like I talk how I talk, no matter if the grammar police runs after me, the grammar police runs after me. Okay. Uh, dress how you dress. Dress, don't dress differently on video than you dress in person. Okay. Now, of course, I'm not going to sit here in my boxers. I'm sure nobody wants to see that, but you know what I mean? That because you're building rapport with people when you run into people. People's want to basically say, dude, this is the same Chad's the same guy on video as he is in real life. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what you want. Okay. Uh, you want me to share my thoughts in the comments? Whoo! That might be a long one. But like when I used to work for when I used to back in the day when I used to work for like digital agencies, like agencies, SEO agencies. But I used to do SEO and stuff like that. SEO agencies, like digital media agencies and stuff like that. Uh, I would have the same talk with clients because sometimes sometimes my clients would be like dentists and doctors, attorneys, and of course, like they would have a blog or do videos. But you kind of have to understand your audience. Okay. Like that's the big question is like you have to be able to like, especially if you're a doctor, a dentist, an attorney, like if you're writing blogs or doing videos, well, what they end up doing is they write like a doctor, they talk like a doctor, they talk like an attorney, they write like an attorney, but but their audience are not attorneys and doctors. Their audience are just regular people. What does that mean? That means you gotta write and talk like a regular person. Okay, you don't use doctor lingo. You don't use giant words. That only medical professionals are going to understand because you're not writing blogs for other medical professionals. Okay, you're you're not writing something to be posted in a medical journal. Okay, you're writing a blog for your patients or clients or to understand it to interpret. So you got to change. You got to change your language. Okay, you got to change a little bit. You got to adapt yourself a little bit. Uh, but then on the same time, the same token is like who are you after work? Are you a doctor in all areas of your life, or are you a doctor and just when you come to work? You understand? And being authentic, I mean, sometimes in certain areas, of course you're going to have people like, well, Chad, be more professional. You know what I mean? You can't please everybody. Okay, the people that like you will stick with you, people that don't won't. I mean, that's another thing too. You gotta being authentic. You gotta get it's taken me a long time to kind of get over that, where I'm okay either way, baby. I'm okay if you like me or you don't like me, because you're not going to change my life either way. You're not paying my bills. So So, and that's not me being rude. It's just I'm okay either way. And and that's a manifesting principle, you know what I mean? Lots of times when you're just truly okay either way, you tend to get what you want. Okay. If you're okay either, like, listen, I'm okay either. I'm okay if I get my dream house or I don't. If I'm truly okay with that, guess what? My dream house ends up coming to me because I'm detached from it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Same with SP work. When you're okay either way, if you attract your SP or you don't, well, guess what? You end up attracting your SP because you're okay either way. They're scratching on the door. Like, Chad, let me in. The puppies. I'm talking about the puppies, the dogs. But when I let them in here, there's like three of them. They're all fighting and wrestling like on top of the mics and stuff like that. But uh so so I'm just like looking at the comments here. Um but thanks for commenting by the way, because it kind of gives me things to talk about and stuff like that. So that's I appreciate that. Uh so what else in there? We talking about being viral, talking about being authentic. Um uh, and I think that not it's kind of goes along with being authentic. It's almost with manifesting, you're going through identity work. Okay. You're willing to you're willing to put yourself out there. You're willing to stand in the fire until it works out. Okay. You're willing to learn what you gotta learn about yourself. I'm not talking about outside of yourself. You're willing to learn what I need to learn about myself. And the only way I'm going to learn about myself, the bad habits I have so I can correct them, is remain in the fire. Is not run back to safety, not run back to my safe zone, not run back to my comfort zone, is to remain. That's the hardest thing. Kind of going back to manifesting a little bit, going back to success, being the most successful version of you, is when things get uncomfortable, do you run from it? When worried out and fear creep in, do you run from it? Okay. Your dream life, listen, your dream life is not in your comfort zone, period. Your dream vacation is not in your comfort zone, bottom line. Okay. Your dream life is outside of comfort. Okay. It means you're going to be nervous. You're going to be scared. You're going to be scared to do things. You're going to have fear. Okay. You're going to have worried out and fear creep in, but you still don't stop. Okay. That's the separator between the successful and non-successful. Okay. It's not that they don't have worried out and fear. It's not that they don't have fear. It's not that they're not scared to do things. It's just they have fear, but they do it anyways. That's the thing. They're scared to do things, but they do it anyways. Okay. That's the separator. That's like success is like there was a book written on that. I know it's a quote. I think it's a book. Like success is a the separation between success and not being successful is like a razor edge. You take a razor and you cut a piece of paper. It's so fine, it's so sharp, but that's the separation between success and not success. Okay, it's so fine. Okay, but most of what holds us back is just worried out and fear. We want to stay in our comfort zone. Okay, like like earlier when we're going through the book review, we're talking about action. We're talking about intuitive action, and we're talking about we have an idea, we take action on it. But sometimes what holds us back is because sometimes the reason why we don't listen to our own action, listen to our intuition, is because it scares us. It's because we're worried out and fear creep in again. We're scared to do it. Makes us nervous. Maybe it's something we never done before. It takes us out of our comfort zone. That's what stops us. That's why we don't listen to it. Okay. Makes sense. Like even like now I'm kind of getting more comfortable going live and stuff like that. But in the beginning, I was kind of like nervous about going live because I was so used to just filming videos, then when I had a brain fart, I just edited that out of the video. Nobody saw that Chad had a brain fart. I'll be honest, that was like my fear of going live, was a holy hell, like, if I have a brain fart, then people's gonna see it. You know what I mean? You have to be okay with that, you kinda have to, like, laugh about it, and, it's gonna like, I do it all the time. I'm teaching, the dogs run in, I got 2 cameras going on, I got 2 different live streams going on, and it's like, "Okay, what was I talking about?" Then someone, like, following along has to remind me, "You were talking about this, Chad." You understand what I'm saying? Plain language advice, what do you mean? I know you want me to talk more, like, simple, but what do you want more simplified? So I've been kinda rambling on and on and on about a lot of stuff here. Then testing, okay, the mic is working too. I'm kinda glad both mics are working, because I have a mic here, that's on my phone, then my Rode Pod mic is over here for YouTube for the desktop, so I was kinda scared that they would conflict, or at least cause a little bit of interference, so at least nobody's complained about it so far, so that seems to be working pretty good. Mm, trying to see, about 10:30, see what time it was there. But tribe, I might have to go here. I've been live for like an hour and a half. Honestly, I have to go to the bathroom. So, so um, take a little break here. I'll probably go live again, because I am going to try to go live at different spots during the day to kind of see if there's a hot spot. The more people's on, not on, stuff like that, and so I'll probably try to do that. I gotta get some other work done today that I wanted to get done. Uh, I did an SP master class that's on my stand store. So I got the last video to kind of do with that one, that I want to get done today, and wrap that up before I forget about it. but but anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for YouTube, TikTok. I'll see you again tomorrow or later on today. Thanks for all the comments. Uh, so that's much appreciated. Now I always don't do book reviews. So, we sometimes we'll go through a book review. I'll explain it. We got 3 more chapters left of The Science of Getting Rich. Then after that, usually I'll just pop on live where I'm more kind of really focused, looking at comments and stuff like that, answering things. That's more kind of what I want to do also, not just like focus on book reviews and stuff. Lots of times for me, I feel like reading the book again. So I feel like, well, since I feel like reading the book, I might as well go live. So that's pretty much why, I felt like reading the book myself. And then I thought, I might as well do it live. Uh, so kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone type of thing. But anyway, thanks. If I don't go live today, I'll definitely see you tomorrow around the same time, and all that jazz. But remember, I love you guys. Love you, YouTube. Love you, TikTok. Other than that, comment if you have comments. I try to read the comments after fact too, and comment back as much as I can. Sometimes I'm getting busier for that kind of stuff. But I try to get involved with the comments as best as I can. Um, Especially if they're good comments and stuff like that. Get out of, I mean, I basically try to delete the spam and all that jazz. But anyway, peace out. Remember, I love you guys, and I'll see you either later today or tomorrow. Okay, then I got a YouTube changed. So let me end the stream on YouTube first.